All right.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Millie Chun, and I am live back full effect, and I'm here with the women from Reality Check
Hello, everybody.
Podcast, and I have here with us Diana and Mare.
Hey.
Hi. So
Diana
happy
and
to
Mare,
have y'all.
they're so good at what they do. They do it so
Queen.
smart. I like how they take specifics and they hone in on it and they dissect that part. That's my favorite thing that they do. So I'm so glad
Queen.
you ladies are here with me today, and we're going to talk about the housewives.
Mm,
So,
we're excited.
so before before we get all into it, we watched two parts of it. We watched the first two parts of the reunion, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And so then we had the boycott, and
Hmm.
we didn't watch. So I messaged Diana, and you were like, "We're not watching," and I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh well, I can't watch either." But I was like, "I want to know what G has to say." So I found out what G said later on. But let's talk about the two parts that we watched.
Hmm.
So
Potomac.
I can't even remember what part one was, what part two was. Just all jumbled in my head.
I just know I put part one and two together. I know that is when we found out about what Candace at the end of part two, they were talking about the actual tussle of it all, right?
Right.
And Ashley, let's just go down the line. Ashley, she was sitting at the right position.
At the end,
Right position.
an
She
extra.
was in the wrong position. She should have been back at home with us
She should have
on our
been,
couch watching.
sucking Michael's feet. That's what she
Like
should
such a
Go home.
weirdo.
I
I'm
was
sorry.
oh my God. And then NECA.
Oh goodness.
I feel like NECA, I hate when the girls come in and they don't have a great introduction.
Yeah.
I feel like NECA just came in wrong. I always feel like new girls need to just come in, read the room.
Correct.
Where do I fit in? Okay, hey Wendy, girl, what's up?
Right.
And then, they may not have really gotten along. But she came in stepping on her toes, talking to Ashley.
Girl.
Mm-hmm.
Messy is the messy. The thing
It
about her, go ahead, Dee. Sorry.
No, please go for it.
So before, like when she came on, I was so pissed off because one, you're coming on the pedestal of coming on about an accusation against your sister for coming from Igbo land, right? The moment that person, Ashley, started saying those things out of her mouth, you should have just been like, first of all, cut that. Done. We're not talking about that. Because if and the thing is, interestingly enough, even at the reunion, for her to say, it's a taboo, we don't really have, the understanding to talk about it and all that stuff. Why would you even allow it to proliferate, right? Why would you even allow Ashley to even run with it? You should have just been like, listen, I don't know Wendy. I don't know her like that. But the one thing I know is that she is from the same place I am from. Right. Number two, you are an outsider. You should not speak on things that you do not understand. And number three, even if Wendy doesn't like me, trust and believe I'm going to be on her side when it comes to this topic. Cut it.
And I just want to get to know you, Ashley. What's up with you? What's up?
Exactly. And I also want to say, within NECA, just to share a little bit of backstory. Mare and we actually knew each other a little bit ways when. And we met because we, way back in another lifetime, we used to be educators. Now,
me too.
Really? Oh, look at it.
Okay, sis. No. So we used to be educators, and Mare was already working at the school, and I was coming into the school. And I remember coming in just for observational purposes, just, observing the students, observing the classroom. Right. And because at the time, Mare had taught the grade level before I did. I was observing her class and observing her colleagues and her peers and things like that. So I remember the students saying, you have to meet Miss O. You have to meet Miss O. You got to meet Miss O. You just like Miss O. And I remember hearing, because Mare and I are both Igbo, we're both Nigerian. I remember hearing Miss O, and I'm like, oh, that's my sister. I didn't care about what was going on in that school. All I knew is that I had to meet Miss O. Miss O was going to be my best friend. Whether or not Miss O liked me, whether or not I like Miss O, we are one. We are together. As soon as Miss O walks in the classroom, I just said, "Are you Miss O? Are you Miss O? Great, thank you so much." That was it from there. The rest was history. You know what I mean? And like, there were times where we didn't get along. There were many times, but the out group did not know that, because I was going to stick with my sis no matter what.
That's right.
No matter what.
And then for the Jazelle of it, let me speak about the part that I can say about. For Wendy, Jazelle, and myself, we are sorors. If anything, like before Jazelle got into Robin and Wendy had a great relationship.
Thank you.
They had a really good relationship.
Yes.
They talked about things. Their children were together.
Yes.
But it was like, well, for whatever reason, Jazelle just crept in. Yeah. And I was like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I like all AKAs. I love all AKAs. There's a soror right now that I don't talk to, that I made a decision not to talk to because of a point where I was in my life. But I love her.
Yeah.
If we got back together, we could have a conversation and keep it moving. Right?
That's something. Sorry, go ahead.
For television purposes, you could just try to just show some sisterhood a little bit. That's all I have to say.
I guess that's the part for me that and I know we'll probably get to like Jazelle and Wendy and all of that, because that seems to be, for some reason, I'm very interested in that dynamic and why the network, Andy, everybody seems to, for whatever reason, ignore the fact that like Wendy was treated a certain way by Jazelle, but Jazelle is the one that is upset and holding that. And what I'm not understanding, that I'm also not a member of D9, right? However, I wanted to ask you, what is this abnormal for Jazelle to hold this grudge against Wendy this long? And then, like, she is very adamant about not making up with Wendy. Is this normal for a soror to do to another soror?
It is not normal for anybody to do. Like anybody that really has a life and doing something. Like if I get upset with you, I'm upset with you. If we have a conversation about it, we can decide to squash it. We can decide to agree to disagree. We can decide to not talk again. But what I'm not going to do is hold on to it and keep coming back to it. I have to move on.
Right.
I can't let this be my end all to be all. But I feel like, and as far as, like, even if you just meet somebody, and not saying that even though they're sorors and they just met, it's not saying that they were just going to automatically just hit it off.
Right.
Just be like, okay, we do have a connection. She may not be my cup of tea, but when I see her, I can be civil. I don't have to really hang out with her, but I will say for the people to say Jazelle is the face of Potomac, I think it would be Jazelle's job to be the glue for everything. Right. Sit down and have this conversation with Wendy. Just like in that reunion, you could tell Andy was over it. Like the entire time. Because he was like, okay, I watched it. He said it was hard to watch. Like everybody said. At that moment, Jazelle had a moment where she could have been like, okay, this is my problem with you. They could have literally just talked it out at the reunion and we probably would have been here for that.
Giselle did not come with the intent to actually move forward with anybody. No, because I think that Giselle knows that she is protected. Exactly. Yeah. Giselle knows that she said that, that the producers or the network told her that Candace was going to get talked to. Giselle knows that she is protected, right? Because Giselle acted in a way in this reunion, and maybe it was good for TV for those that like Giselle, that's your business. Giselle acted in a way that she has never acted at any of these reunions before, right? Giselle knows she cannot read, so she tries to break down her syllables. Giselle knows that she cannot read, so she has to get the backing of the network. that's just
what you said to me. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? That's Giselle. She knows that she cannot. She's not as quick as Wendy and Candace, so she has to get the backing of the network. She has to get the backing of Andy to tell Candace to pipe down. Imagine a situation where you're overperforming your colleagues so much they have to tell you to pipe down.
I know.
In what world?
I know.
In what world? But I don't believe that Jazelle came there with the intent to actually move forward with her castmates. I think she came there to just, to stir
And
some
then
more
she
mess.
looks so crazy when the Jason part had come up.
The what was that?
The Jason part.
The Jason part, because I just want to be clear.
That fake thing.
So Jason was kissing another woman, but Jazelle was definitely going to meet him after the reunion. Is that what she said? Okay, that's all I need to be clear about.
That is what she said.
Okay.
I don't think Jazelle, people like Ashley, they don't have any shame. And unfortunately, I'm going to actually put Mia in that too. They don't have shame. So they're willing to come here and share it all. Oh, did I lose her?
Really, Tom, where'd you go?
Sorry.
Okay. I thought it was just me.
We can see you now.
Ooh.
What
Hold
happened?
on, y'all. Let me drop down.
No worries. And hey to the people in the chat. Hi.
We see you.
Okay. Can y'all hear me?
Yes. We can hear you.
Can you
Can you
see
hear us?
I love technology.
Oh, shoot. Hold on. Oh my God.
Uh-oh.
Can y'all hear me? I gotta.
Yeah, we can.
We can hear you and we can see you.
Hold on.
Yep. Can everybody in the chat, those that are watching, can you all just like give us a thumbs up or a hello if you can hear and see Militron? Hello to those in the chat.
We are so honored.
Okay. Can y'all? Okay,
Yes.
I'm back.
Yes.
I had to go. I forgot I had to do something before, but I'm sorry about that.
No worries at all.
Yes, I feel like Jazelle just doesn't want to do anything, and I'm sure when she found out about Robin leaving, I'm sure she just did not know what to do with herself.
I had a feel. I think she probably knew that Robin was leaving.
Absolutely.
My theory has been like for multiple number of seasons. The only reason that Robin has been able to stay on the show is because of Jazelle. Yeah. Jazelle has been doing something to make sure that Robin stays on the show, right? And when Robin, and for me, for the life of me, I mean, there are so many rumors out there about Jazelle, about why she's on the show, and about how she's protected on the show.
What kind of rumors?
Oh, I don't know if I want to utter. I don't know. Just go in our comment section. People are just like popping it in there and all that.
Let me tell you, people go in. They go ham in the comment sections.
Allegedly.
Alleged. Yeah, we have to share alleged.
Give me a soft alleged. Give us a soft alleged.
So allegedly, Jazelle is sleeping with a producer. Allegedly, and that's the reason why she's allegedly still she's protected on this cast. Allegedly,
because like for the life of me,
there are more heinous things out there.
There are more, but like I cannot understand like how somebody who absolutely brings nothing. The only thing that is redeemable about Jazelle is her daughters. That is the only thing.
That is the only thing.
And
that is it.
Like literally, that's it. And to see daughters who actually maybe they got the best parts of Jazelle. And unfortunately, we don't see the best parts of Jazelle show on the show. But these daughters, they're not vile like her. They're not hateful. They're not evil. They're actually quite introspective. They're like, why would you want to get back with our dad? Like after what he did to you, like things like that. They can identify the fakery from the moment, right? Like it's like, no, like you're faking the funk. Like you're faking for the show all the time. But like, how can somebody like this, who season after season after season, I think like Carlos's title that he gave her as ghost producer has gotten to her head because I'm like,
and force multiplier.
Like that. It's like, no, like you're just a messy woman and you're just hateful and you're mean. And my prime example is this, like the rumor about Wendy's husband during that season, we would not have known about that rumor had Jazelle not said it. We, the audience, I did not know that such a rumor existed. I didn't read it in the blogs. I had no idea. But like, why bring that out? If you're a force multiplier, you want to force multiply by causing an issue, by bringing down somebody's family, by making conjectures that have no actual like factual basis to them. Like, it makes no sense. So why are we protecting her? She is the face of Potomac season 1 and season 2. I will say that.
Okay.
Because Jazelle had a personality. She had something like a je ne sais quoi about her that people were like, oh, okay, like we could get into. She was, you know, it was a little, what do you call it? Like, you know, in the housewives, you just want to see petty. She was just petty. She was just petty. But then,
I feel like the alleged comment, the alleged situation that, and I'm not, Lord, I don't know, it could be true, but that's the only way Jazelle could be on this show.
Truly.
Because, like, I mean, we talk about people all the time who don't have a storyline, but like, we could make one up. We don't know. Honestly, we don't even know anything about Jazelle.
That's what I'm saying.
All we know is she was married to a man who had kids on her, and he is still in the pulpit. She got 3 babies. She lives in a house that she's quilted together.
Quilted. I know quilted is right. I know quilted is right.
She got, you know, like, and then with this Jason dude, this is like her beard. And then whoever this imaginary dude Mia put up that she's like, you know, she's messing with or whatever. Maybe she didn't want to say that because allegedly she could be knocking down a producer. I don't know.
I don't know.
But my thing is, Jazelle has nothing. She literally, if you get this, Jazelle, I say you have nothing. Like you give nothing. Ashley gives nothing, but if Ashley could have Michael to walk back on that stage, it'll be something she could give.
That's right.
Giselle has nothing.
Season after season.
Nothing. The fact that Giselle can get Giselle and Robin has the most. Giselle and Robin get in the middle of somebody's relationship.
Yeah.
And Robin, girl, where is your man? Is he in Canada? Like, are you kidding me right now?
He's down the street back at the hotel. Back at the hotel.
And then I was like, even in the reunion, the fact that she would say something to Chris about screenshots,
the audacity.
I wanted Chris to say so bad. What about that? What about that
hotel
credit
receipt.
Card statement?
Mm-hmm.
What about that text messages? Mm-hmm. What's up with text messages?
Talking about, he deletes all of the text messages. He has this weird thing about his phone. And you believe it? And you believe it?
I could not believe Robin said that out of her mouth. I could not believe that.
Robin is
so dense.
Robin is incredibly dense. She is a dunce.
Sorry.
She is a dunce. And it's quite unfortunate. It's quite unfortunate because I truly do, like, you know, as a prior educator, I really do wish intelligence on everybody, but it's unfortunate to see when someone just does not have it. No. And the fact that Robin truly, I truly believe Robin this season, she could have won the favor of the audience.
She could have.
Robin could have made me a fan of hers this season.
She had the ability. Robin had the top story in this whole season.
1,000%.
The fact that one said he didn't care, that was her storyline. When he sat in that kitchen and said, I don't care, that was it.
I honestly think that, I mean, obviously the I don't care, that's something to, I think, just push narrative and placate the audience, because Robin has been the one throughout this entire time in her entire tenure on The Housewives, has been the one that has pushing people and forcing people to be transparent about their home life, forcing husbands to answer questions, been the one that's saying, that's what we do on this show, we talk about husbands. So now when it's her turn, it's something that she knows about, she is all of a sudden, now they don't care, they don't have, like, it's just a way to placate the audience. And I think that's truly, honestly, the reason why she got fired. We will never, ever, ever get to know truly Robin's true feelings about what had transpired. Because it's also very hypocritical and it's contradictory, because for her reasoning that she's sharing with the audience, and also because Robin has been in PR in the past, we know that this is just something that is just right, pushing narratives and to also save face, right? But her reasoning that she is pushing out is that it's not something that was actually happening at the time that they were filming season 7. But how contradictory is that for Jazelle, the narrative that she was pushing, that Chris, Candace's husband, made her uncomfortable at season 6 reunion. But that's not something that was relevant to the season 7 airing.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So it's almost like they're just pushing things that will make them feel better or look good or just be able to answer the question at the time. They don't actually know what they're doing, and they're just saying anything at this point, and that benefits them, and it's frustrating to watch. It's frustrating because we're not getting real.
And then with her being in PR, I think she feels like if she keeps saying it, then it will make sense to us. But Robin, we have common sense.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, you can't keep saying the same thing and eventually be like, oh, okay, it happened when the cameras weren't up, so it doesn't matter. Okay, but now what you gonna talk about?
It's unfortunate because I think that these women have, the housewives in general, but especially Potomac, they have understood this game, and they're playing a quite old generation housewife Potomac game where all you have to do is say something on camera and the label will stick. You get what I'm saying? Like now, for example, this accusation that Nneka has thrown at Wendy's mom, all she had to do was say, your mom is a witch. Whether she apologizes, whether she retracts it, people will forever now make jokes. Exactly. And that's exactly what Jazelle has very good awareness of. That's what Robin has very good awareness of. So for them, I don't think they actually even care what they say. As long as they're able to scapegoat the situation and actually escape from whatever it is that narrative is, then whatever they say, they believe that it will stick. And it does, because they have fans that are perpetuating these narratives online.
I will say this. I am glad, for one, that Robin is gone. And I have to say this because to follow that up. No. Am I happy that someone has lost their job? Absolutely not. Like, someone was like, oh my God, Millie Chun, I can't believe that you would be the one to say she's gone and you'd be happy about that. Everybody needs their job. We all need a cash flow of some sort.
Yeah.
But like I told her, if you go on your job and I go on my job and I don't do it, I'm not going to have it.
You're not.
Can I give you the example? I use
a performance improvement plan.
Thank you so much. I actually use Robin, like her coming on and literally her tagline saying that she doesn't care. I actually compared it to like a corporate environment. Imagine you have a client and you're supposed to have meet a deadline for a deliverable, and you don't meet it, and you don't even do the deliverable, and you tell the client, "I don't care."
You're fired.
You're
fired.
There is no performance improvement plan.
I don't think Ashley should be there. Do I think she should have a cash flow? Absolutely. But she shouldn't be on this show trying to get a cash flow. She probably needs to be at Forever 21 because it seems like that's where, she should be a buyer. Maybe that'll work out for her.
Honestly, because what do Ashley be wearing?
Baby doll clothes.
God have mercy.
Oh my goodness. Even this reunion, like I was so disappointed because Ashley's dress, I'm not even
house in Texas wig that she had on.
That wig.
It's so unfortunate because Ashley's dress, I'm not gonna lie, Ashley's dress was actually fire.
Who?
Her dress was actually fire. But Ashley, the dress wears her. She don't know how to wear the dress.
Yeah. I think you said something like she wears dresses that accentuate her boobs and she doesn't really think about anything else.
That's it.
She just got them done and she's just showing it.
Yeah.
But everything else is like, it's like she tie-dyes. Okay, speaking of clothes, I could not even believe. They couldn't even come up with a name that made sense. GNA. What is that?
I know.
So stupid.
And I was like,
so dumb.
And I was like, do y'all really and truly?
So dumb.
Wait, when I saw Jazelle say this on Neighborhood Talk, because we didn't watch that part, when she said, Oh no, maybe it was on a preview. When there was a brawl and
Yeah,
we
it
were
didn't
the
help
clothing
her
line.
business.
Jazelle, do you not understand that the brawl probably helped the clothing line?
Because
If
nobody's
anything,
buying.
It helped Potomac more than it helped her clothing line. Like, because her website is also trash.
Oh,
because
yes,
the
horrible.
website makes no sense either.
And I went on over there. I went on over there and looked,
bruh.
and I was like, "This is not what this is. This is worse than She by Sheree."
It's not giving at all. It's not giving. And that's
Someone had compared it to Shein, and I was like, "Don't insult Shein like that.
Don't do that.
Don't come for Shein like that, because like
Shein would give you an outfit.
They will come together. Like, come on." GNA is not the business, in my opinion. Let me just say that, because
But
I don't know who's
I think that look, and I mentioned this to you all offline before, and I'm gonna say this since the audience is here. I think that with Potomac, we need to go with the 5, because we need to know who else we need to weed out before we add people on. Because if you add someone on, maybe Ashley could hide behind them, or Jazelle would befriend them and get all of their business, and we still won't see them do anything. Karen is not going to do anything. Karen is never going to give us anything. She's just a grand dame, and she knows that. She's going to be the fence, and that's it.
Yeah.
Wendy and Eddie, their business, their life, their kids, I think they're good. They can spice it up a little bit, and they'll be great. We have Kiana. She's a friend of, or she could be. She's perfect. And then who else?
I love Kiana.
Mia. Let's get into Mia.
Oh Lord.
Okay, Diana, I know how you feel. I see you. I know, but hear me out. Please hear me out. This is the type of foolishness that I love. Okay. What I tell you, Mia has a storyline. Mia has a husband and a boyfriend. In Robin's wildest dreams, she could never. In her wildest dreams, she could never.
She won't.
And she didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the thing is, I listened to what G had to say, right?
Yeah.
And even though Mia did not stay in her age lane, and now she's with G, she literally does have 2 men, because she says she will take care of him. He's been diagnosed with part 1 bipolar, or bipolar 1. And she was saying that goes back to when he was going through everything with his job and everything. And she said she'll be there for him. She's never going to leave. Yeah. But now she has this other man that she has to take care of. Like, is this a triangulation happening right here? I mean, Ink is like, "What's up, man? I see you in the black. Are you going across the street to give Gordon his breakfast in the morning before we get to doing what we're gonna do? Take the kids over there and come back over here." Oh, I mean, what's going on?
Yeah,
I think I don't know, but what I did hear is that Ink has known Gordon since their time, for a long time, like since Mia started working at her gentleman's club. Ink has known of Gordon and has known Gordon and that relationship with Mia for such a long time. So it's my thought that it is possible that Mia and Ink together have known and have been together for a while, right? And they have used Gordon to amass whatever income that they want to amass. I have no idea. But
that's a theory.
It's a theory. And Gordon, I feel like Gordon has also known of Ink, obviously. But once Gordon knew that he couldn't perform in the bedroom, he said, "All right, you have the free reign to go ahead and pursue X relationship with Ink as much as you can." So I feel like they've all had this throuple or an open relationship for a decade or more. Like,
and Mia just got out of hand.
Exactly. And Mia just got out of hand. And I think that's the story that we don't have a full awareness of, right? All we know is these little tidbits of it. But if we could piece it together, like I remember Ink in his interview with Carlos King talking about the fact, like Gordon's mail used to come to my place.
Yeah.
And I was like,
he said one piece of mail. He said
one piece of mail. And I said, really? Really? So it is messy, it is intricate, but you know what? For me, it's not the life I want to live, but if it's the life that they want to live, go on.
But it is a life that we will watch on this show.
Yeah.
And Mia will have a storyline. I know Diana is not here for it. I know that. I know you know, but when I tell you she has the best storyline of everybody.
Millie Chen, I cannot disagree with you. I agree with you. Potomac is Mia's right now. Like 100%. This is her show.
Okay, Diana. Okay, Diana, wait a minute before you talk. Let me say this, and then I'm gonna let you say what you have to say. So we have Karen, who is a fence, and Ray. Karen, we don't even get to see Ray because I can't even watch Ray drink anything out of a cup. Okay? So
what is there to watch?
Ashley doesn't know when Michael is going to allow her to do anything. So we don't even know what she has going on, right? So then we have Wendy. Maybe they're doing Happy Eddie stuff. That's going to be great to watch. And then we have who? Who else is it? Ashley, Wendy.
And you have Jezebel. You have her.
Nothing is there. So it's Mia.
Yes.
Okay, Diana, go ahead.
Okay, so I don't disagree with you all, surprisingly. Mia does have probably the best storyline right now, right? Because I feel like if we're going with the 5 that we have, we're gearing up for a season where the beginning of the season will probably be Wendy recovering and dealing with the I guess the aftermath of her home burglary, right? You can kind of tell at the reunion, Jazelle and Ashley are gearing up for their next fake boyfriend storyline for this season, right? Karen, we're not, I don't think, Karen, we're probably going to get into her DUI, right? And Mia having a husband and a boyfriend. Cool. I think it's honestly great TV, not my type of TV, but it is good TV, right? I think I cannot get over the fact that Mia has been able to get away with so much
lying,
and it's pedestaled because of that. She is a habitual pathological liar.
But she can't even remember.
It's insane to me. I did a video on this. She came on this scene and she quite literally told us that she was the CEO, the boss, CEO in charge. And I quote. Yeah. And then started this season telling us that she was the marketing director.
And that's what we said, Diana. We were like, I think she's just the marketing director or something like that.
I don't even think she's for maybe one franchise. I don't think that it was even the market. What happened?
Oh, we're good. Are you
okay. I didn't see you for a second. You just it was just okay. So I just cannot stand the fact that Mia has been able to get away with so much and she has been able to be pedestal because of that. I can't get over the fact that she was able to quite literally assault somebody and in the assault, calling them ghetto, and she is the one that is coddled. I don't know why I can't get over that. And then to come to this reunion,
100%.
It frustrates me to my core. And then to come to this reunion and then to see Mia finish everybody's sentences, it doesn't make any type of sense. It frustrates me.
What was that?
I was like, I didn't even know that there was sense.
It pisses me off the fact that Jazelle can sit here and literally, she's just calling names at this point. Anybody that she doesn't like, anyone that's brown skinned was to blame for this brawl that happened, which is what.
Let me say this. That's when people's like, when I talked about not watching it and boycotting it, I was not talking about it to get people to do it because I don't pay everyone's cable bill.
Yeah.
Do what you want to do. I was not watching it simply because of what Jazelle said in that preview.
And that's it.
When she said, it's Kay, Deborah, Wendy, and Candace. And I was like, Wendy? And it wasn't until Mia said, Wendy didn't do that.
Uh-huh.
Wendy had nothing to do with that. And then when she said, okay, okay, Wendy, I take it back. And I was like, just what you all said a few minutes ago. It's already done. The damage is done.
Thank you
how
so
people
much.
People go to prison for misunderstandings like that.
Thank you so much.
People lose their life for misunderstandings like that.
We have learned mistaken identity has gotten people killed. We know that, especially as Black people in this country, right? And we have learned with number 45 that words actually matter. So the fact that we're sitting here in 2024, the fact that we're sitting here in 2024 and we're acting like words don't matter, but they only matter for some people when you feel insulted or when you feel got in a verbal dispute. That's when they matter. The part that really irked me, and I'm just as equally as mad at Jazelle as I am with Mia, is the fact that when Jazelle just threw out any dark-skinned person's name that she could think of, it took Mia to say Wendy had nothing to do with it, for Jazelle to actually retract the statement.
That's it.
How dangerous? How dangerous is that?
And that's when I said that. I was like, people do not. I know people say this, they say that, but you need to look at, because I think we watch TV a little different, right? Yeah. Because we have to. Yeah. And I was like, how are you just gonna throw her name out there and then you weren't there?
You weren't even there.
And I know that you watched this when we've watched it. So you saw that Wendy had nothing to do with it. But you still want to throw her in it on this reunion to make her look bad. But you have to retract it because you know Wendy didn't have anything to do with it. And Mia has told you she didn't have anything to do with it.
And that's the thing. And that's the thing, is that the power that she gave Mia in that moment, Mia, she doesn't even, I really think that she is actually just too intellectually inept to even know what to do with that type of power, right? Because if she has the power to actually change the narrative for Jazelle when it comes to Wendy, and she does nothing but terrible things with it, talking about, oh, well, you guys didn't call me when I was divorcing my husband. But you assaulted this woman last season and accused her of cheating on her husband. You guys, like, she does stupid things like that. She comes in the next season after assaulting Wendy and says, "Why don't you uplift me?"
You're slow.
And it's like, because you're slow. You're not quick. You're not intellectually with it. You know what I mean? Right. So what exactly are we sitting here to talk about? You don't vibrate high enough for me to actually have a conversation. It irritates me because, like Candace said, the goalposts and the standards shift to benefit whoever is speaking in that moment. And Mia, Jazelle, Robin, and Ashley greatly benefit from changing the goalposts because they are given the power to do so.
Yes.
I want Mare. We talked about this offline. I want Mare to talk about this right here. So Lauren, first of all, Lauren, don't talk about my N and Bulldogs. Okay. Second of all, Lauren says, I think this is the privilege of colorism that Candace spoke about.
Thank you.
I want Mare to talk about that in this particular space right now.
Please.
Yes. I think we've seen a lot of misconceptions about the definition or the understanding of what colorism is. Because you see people talking about how Candace is the one who's being colorist. Robin has faced colorism and things of that nature. And it's just that doesn't make sense, right? When you think about, and that's why when Dr. Wendy had said, let's think about the fact that if it was racism, right? Thinking about if somebody said, I feel like what you're doing is racist, right? Mm-hmm. Understanding why is it that you're feeling that way? Because there's a dynamic that's perpetuating that. So with colorism, it has to be understood that colorism falls under the umbrella of racism. And in no way, shape, or form does colorism benefit the group that it is being impacted upon, right? In no way, shape, or form. The only thing that it does is that it uplifts whiteness, right? That is what must be understood. Colorism, prejudice, all of that,
Thank you.
It uplifts whiteness because it is under the umbrella of systemic racism and racism in general.
Thank you.
So colorism is basically something that happens where in a group of people, you have discrimination that happens against individuals that are of a darker
hue
complexion.
Thank you.
Right? Because the people who are of the lighter complexion tend to uplift that light identity because it's associated closely with whiteness.
Oh,
and therefore they bring down individuals
no, because
are
sometimes
of a darker complexion because that is not seen.
So in this realm right here. So if I said something against one of you, that would hold me in a place where I'm like, oh, I'm better because I'm lighter.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still talking to you as if I didn't say that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So because I want everyone to understand, right? Being lighter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Being more closely associated, your proximity to whiteness is what defines the colorist nature that we are saying that is being perpetuated on this show.
Right.
And that's the part that people don't understand. I saw a tweet that I sent to Mayor earlier today. Oppression does not work both ways, right? It doesn't work both ways. One group is specifically oppressed, right? And that's what Candace, I think, was highlighting at the last reunion was Jazelle's privilege and Jazelle's proximity to whiteness affords her the opportunity to be able to say something like, this person made me uncomfortable, and it's believed and taken so seriously enough for somebody to lose their job and potentially lose their entire career, right? Because of her proximity to whiteness, right? If you have someone like Jazelle match up against somebody like Wendy, someone is more believable in that situation,
and
right?
It would be,
Inherently
would be Jazelle.
Inherently. And now there are nuances. There are obvious nuances. So one person is also more educated, right? So someone will be more believable maybe because they're more educated. But we cannot ignore the initial inherent fact that colorism exists and someone's inherent implicit bias can impact and inform their perception, which then informs their reaction, informs the way that they react and they speak to somebody. You know what I'm saying?
And I want to say like visually, for those who don't understand visually, let's think about Jazelle in that moment where she's talking about who was responsible for the altercation.
Thank you.
Visually, she named every brown-skinned girl.
Yes.
Visually.
Except for Deborah, who was a part of it.
Exactly.
She named Deborah.
She named Deborah, but like
she did, but I'm saying she had to.
Exactly. She had to. She actually named all of the brown-skinned women and did not name Ashley for one, right?
If Ashley hadn't brought Deborah, because we watched the part that we did watch and what we watched on TMZ, Candace was dancing over with Wendy.
Thank you.
Turned around. Didn't even know what was going on.
Her back was like this. She wasn't even doing it. We saw Sesame Street walk up to her and say, so you're going to call me Sesame Street to my face?
Correct.
Of course.
Thank you.
Candy's mouth is smart. Candace's mouth is smart. She's got pulled over a bar before because of her mouth.
Thank you.
So she's like, get the help. I don't want to talk to her. She's saying, I don't want to talk to her. And I will say, I listened to Carlos, and he did say this part. He was like, at that moment, that's a moment Jazelle could have been like a human.
Yes, I saw that.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. She could have been a human in that moment and been like, Deborah, well, no, I'm sorry, I can't say that. She wasn't there and Robin was downstairs. But Ashley could have been a human in that moment.
Thank you.
And like, Deborah, look, girl, leave her. This girl is over here dancing. Why are you in her face? She told you she didn't want to talk to you. Mm-hmm. That's all she had to say. Mm-hmm. And as her friend, then she would have been left alone. But that's why Ashley's sitting down there at the end, mute. Mm-hmm. Because she knows that she was complicit in this whole situation.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
And it was the episode before, or maybe it was the final episode when Jazelle had the green on and they were telling her about it. And she's like, oh, those loud mouths.
Uh-huh.
You were not there, Jazelle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's the reason that I say, like, you can't, like, if this is scripted, I don't know if it is. I don't know if it's all fully scripted, but you can't manufacture the type of hate that Jazelle has for these women. Like she has this, like, there's this thing in her, and I think it's because these women are speaking to the truth to life of what's going on inside of her heart. Right? Because Jazelle, after Wendy said, like, this is God paying you back for all the things that you've done. I mean, that hit her to the core, right? And it's true, right? And then it's like, and then even for, you know, talking about Robin, like, you don't even have a relationship to care about.
No.
It's like, these are things wherein a woman or any person, you keep that to yourself because you don't want to say it, but you know it's the truth about you. And so Jazelle having this type of hate, and for Ashley, as Jazelle is, you know, saying all these things, and you're right, Carlos is right. Somebody could have been a human in that instance. Ashley could have won somebody over in that situation because for her, she was just so quiet. She didn't say anything. She's like pursing her lips.
Wait a minute, pause real quick. She never, for my understanding, checked on Kiana until the reunion.
Exactly. Never did. Never
she
did.
Didn't call the girl. She waited till the next day to say, has anybody talked to her? And let me get this in. I'm gonna let you finish, Mayor. But I can't. Not your friend 253_PTDE says, but Candace can't have it both ways. She sided with them, and it blew up in her face. I agree with you.
I don't agree with that
because let me say this. I feel like Candace didn't see it. I feel like she didn't realize she was in line. I feel like that she was a part of the plot to get rid of Monique, because what Monique did and that whole gathering that they had, and Jazelle bringing a bodyguard, when all that happened with Mia.
No, absolutely. That's the part.
Yeah.
Can I say this one thing before you share why you disagree?
Yeah.
I somewhat agree a little bit with this statement. Let me tell you why, because I think I've shared with Mayor before that with Candace, I truly believe that Candace was genuinely friends with these women and really thought that they genuinely wanted to be friends with her. And I think in being friends with them that she has seen and witnessed a lot, which is why I think it caught her by complete shock and surprise when Jazelle sat her down in that dance studio and said, your husband made me feel uncomfortable. Your husband did this to me.
She was in
right. Yeah, because I think she knew immediately in that moment, this is a plot against my husband, which is why she reacted the way that she did. And she said, Michael Darby is available for this nonsense, not my husband.
Absolutely.
So I think that it did kind of, her friendship with them, I definitely think that she was genuine in the friendship with them. Because I think Candace, we can see her, she's consistent in her friendships with people, right? The way that she approaches like Wendy, Robin, like she's consistent in those friendships. In the fallout, she's also consistent with like, you know, Tana, you know, so I think that she was genuinely friends with them. It did blow up in her face because we saw that what she has witnessed Jazelle do is now happening to her.
Yeah. And I will give, and the thing I like about Candace is that Candace is intelligent enough to have noted that immediately, and that's why she broke the fourth wall. She's like, nah, like this is not happening in this film, right? And I do agree, like it's a blind side, but I think that Candace, I mean, I also want to remind everybody, Candace is in her 30s. Like is she in her mid to late 30s?
Yeah.
I mean,
mid, like 35.
Right. And then these other women have a significant age gap with her, right? Significant. So we can come to an understanding where Candace also has a mommy issues, right? Where she has these, you know, issues with her mom, where she's like looking for big sister type relationships. I can, and I agree. She wanted to be friends with these women, and also these are the women that she works with. Don't we all want to get along? We all want to get along, and that's fine.
Of course, absolutely.
And so for me, I think like even in that battle with Monique, I think Jazelle, if I look back, Jazelle planted the seed in Monique's brain, considering Candace, right? And that whole blow up, I think that it's Monique having misplaced aggression against the wrong person, and she put it on Candace, the one that she loved the most out of all of them. She put it on Candace instead of putting it on Charisse, or instead of putting the spotlight on Jazelle, right? I think Candace, and I look at that fight that day and I think about it. If you have a best friend, and if you guys had a falling out, wouldn't you guys get into a tussle of words with each other? Like you had
I agree with you. I agree with you. I just want to add the piece that I think that once Monique, heard that it was actually about her child and the paternity of her child,
Yes.
you can't
It was
even like.
over.
Have you ever been to the point where you are so angry, like all reasoning? I'm not excusing Monique in the fight, right? But in terms of their friendship, it
wasn't Candace that said it. Was it Candace that said it about her child? It wasn't her.
It wasn't her, right? It was Jazelle, yeah. But Candace had brought to the internet that there was a plot, and she was there to witness the conversation about the plot about Monique's child, right?
And Candace went to whom?
She didn't go to Monique, and that's what upset Monique.
Okay, that's fine. That can upset you and everything like that. But this is what I'm saying: misplaced aggression.
Absolutely,
because misplaced. And what I will say is that in Housewives, the reason I love Candace, the reason I love Kenya is they are women that use their mouths. They have a brain. They can spar, right? Give me a good verbal spar any day. I don't need physicality. Just give me a good verbal spar, and they can do that. So with that particular fight, I think that when it happened to Candace was also blindsided that Monique could do that to her, right? And then also because Candace also understands there's a vision or a visual that we need to uphold about Black women on this show, and she talked about it in the car, and so she couldn't believe that happened to her. And then who does she have to support her in that instance? It had to be these other women to support her in where she was feeling violated.
Okay.
And so that's where I'm going to end. I'll end there.
Okay. Well, let me say this because I just got on the Candace train this season. I have not always been riding it. So at that moment, when she was like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
But Millie Chan, come on.
Girl, I won't lie.
Diana's right there with you too. But
right there with like this.
I will say that I was not always a Candace fan.
I don't think, wait a minute. I don't condone.
We don't condone violence, of course.
I do not think, and you're right. Candace's words are worse. They cut you worse than anything else.
Yeah.
She gets to the marrow of the bone. And I love that about Candace.
Get a dictionary.
But she doesn't always know when to get to the marrow. And that's why Monique pulled her across that table. And I was here for it.
You know what? I know a lot of people were here for it, and I get it.
But I got on her side because she softened up. Talk to her. She softened up. She still used her words, but it was just different. Like, I don't have a problem switching. I don't have a problem doing that. I talk about the people. I talk about the shows. If it makes sense to me, I'm going to give it to you. I'm not going to be like, oh, this is my girl. Even though she's wrong, she's still my girl. If you're wrong, you're just wrong.
Right.
And I'm going to call it out. But at that moment, I was not on the Candace train. I couldn't get on it.
Yeah. I've been on the Candace train since she got on. So I think also, like, when you look at villains for me make a show, right? Like,
Candace a villain?
She's not really a villain, but like,
no, she's not a villain.
But I'm just saying, like,
she's a villain.
People who are like complicated, they make a show because Candace has a lot of complexity to her. And I can see there's a reason I understand her where other people cannot understand her. There's a reason I can understand her. And that's what I just truly enjoy about her.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. But
I'm here for her verbal catalog. I'm here for all of that.
Yeah, she's good. She can read.
I am here for that. But okay, so let me ask you, I told you why I didn't watch. I didn't watch for the simple fact of what Jazelle has said about all of the ladies.
Yeah.
Mara, what was because people felt like, well, I'm glad I have my own mind. I'm going to watch. That's fine. So, Mara, why didn't you watch?
I didn't watch because I'm tired, right? Like, I'm actually like tired of nobody getting along, and I'm tired of lack of accountability from the part of Jazelle, Robin, that whole other side of the couch, because I think what is happening is that they are gaslighting the audience, making the audience believe that they're the bee's knees or that they're doing something. But really, truly, I want people to put on their spectacles. Like, we need to be objective, right? We need some objectivity in the interactions with these women and what's going on. And for me not watching, it is me just I stopped watching in November, honestly. I just only came back so I can review this reunion and give Diana a little bit of reprieve, right? But I will not watch and continue to watch somebody be harassed, somebody be dehumanized, somebody be picked on, bullied, and all of that stuff. And there's literally no reprimand. There is no reprimand for the person that is doing said things to that person. And that person continues to get away with murder. If Jazelle can continue to get away with what she has done to Candace and her husband, get away with doing what she's doing to, Wendy and her husband or all these other women, she can get away with a lot. And for me, I can't watch that. This is not fun TV. It's not good TV. It's not petty. It's become dark and it's become very personal. And so enough is enough for me. So that was it.
Diana, what was your reason?
I couldn't do it anymore. Like Mare said, I was continuing on when she had stopped. Mare was done in November, and I continued on. I was really just trying to give them a chance in hopes of, okay, it's been a few seasons now and you guys haven't spoken. Maybe at some point somebody will do something. But when I saw Jazelle literally blame all of the dark-skinned women for that fight, I had it. I had it. And when I heard Robin, when I saw her crying over these colorism
that was
accusations, and to hear Robin say something like, I don't understand why people think I'm colorist. I argue with every woman here. And to see the quite literal live ignorance, it frustrated me. And I'm like, I can't watch this. I can't just watch people be so dumb and I give them my viewership.
That's
like
right.
It's embarrassing.
It is.
It's embarrassing that you're not even doing the conscious work to understand what bias is and understand why you react to Wendy different than you react to Mia. There's nothing that I can do for you in that moment. So I was done, because morally it's just not what I stand for.
Right.
I'm a person of principle and I'm a person of justice, and this is just not what I stand for. It's unfortunate because people like Wendy, people like Candace that truly deserve our viewership.
Yes.
And honestly, I've said this before, Wendy was not my favorite when she came on the scene. Yeah, she's my Igbo sis. Obviously, I'll support her because, obviously a sis or whatever.
I went back and forth with her too myself.
Yeah, but these people have actually caused her to be my favorite because of the way that you treat her, and to continue to watch someone be treated so poorly. That's the reason why she keeps getting season after season, because there's not one season that Wendy has not been mistreated or has been not been on the receiving end of an attack. So I just could not watch anymore, because it's just downright deplorable to see how such a vile, disgusting colorist is uplifted and pedestaled.
And that's one, and I appreciate that, ladies, because I didn't want, when I talked about it, I guess people felt like I was saying don't do it and not giving reason. I would never put anything out there that I wouldn't do myself, right? And you make up your own mind, but you all have valid reasons why a lot of people didn't watch. You all have valid reasons why. I mean, it was the whole boycott RHOP on Twitter was wild to me, right? They meant that, and it was not just a light-skinned girl or a dark-skinned girl. It was white men and white women, and they were not okay with any of it. And at one time, Potomac had it. You know what I'm saying? It was definitely coming up from Atlanta. Atlanta was losing it. Potomac had it. And it was like, you could see it just seeping through the hands. And I knew when I watched Andy Cohen, and Andy was trying to make a resolve himself, when this was it for me also. When
unfortunately Andy's not making a resolve.
In the second part of the reunion, when Andy said, "Are you ladies willing to take accountability?" Right? And Ashley and all the girls on that side up to Karen was like, yeah. But when they got to Robin and Jazelle, and she said, yeah, I'll listen to the accountability. No, ma'am, you're first in line.
She should be.
And that's the thing, is the fact that Jazelle she doesn't see an issue with any of her behavior. She doesn't understand that she is the reason why this has happened. If Jazelle had never brought these lies about Chris, Candace would not have had a reason to tell you that you have a dwindling uterus.
That's right.
That would have never happened. It's almost that, and that's the thing. That's why I think that this is just it's so dumb and so intellectually beneath what anyone can really truly grasp. Like, there's cause and there's effects, there's action and there's reaction.
Yeah.
Jazelle brought lies, Candace reacted.
Yeah.
Jazelle brought lies, Wendy reacted. She can't seem to understand that. They're so focused, and seemingly the audience and the fan base is also so focused on the reaction as opposed to, well, why did you bring these lies?
Yeah.
Why did you do that? Imagine if Wendy came and said what Jazelle has said. There are rumors out there about Jazelle. There are rumors out there. Imagine if that happened. They would be calling her everything but a child of God.
They would.
In her DMs and in our comments.
If she had one idea, Jazelle would build a whole season off 2 rumors for 20 episodes.
Yeah.
She could build a whole season.
Yeah.
She talked about being uncomfortable in an entire season.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was like, can we just move on from this?
I also want to say, while she was saying
Chris,
that she's uncomfortable, she also knew about Robin.
Poor Chris. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Chris sat there and silenced his own self. Like, babe, I'm not showing up. I'm not getting paid anyway. This is your thing. I'm here to support you. I don't want to be a distraction. I want you to try to get where you need to be on here. And what Diana said, you knew the whole time this girl that sat here and married Juan Dixon and all this other stuff she was doing. And then her PR excuse to put down our throat is, it didn't happen when we were filming. I didn't think it was important. Ma'am, we've heard how he talks to you. So I'm trying to think. Is there anything else you want to touch on? Because before we go, I want to touch on this other housewife stuff.
No, I just think that I am disappointed in Potomac, and the example that I use to compare to Potomac is Miami. And for example, unfortunately, we saw the news where Alexia and her husband are getting a divorce. I think her husband Todd filed for divorce. And with Miami, it's so interesting because the last 3 seasons we have seen dramatic things happen with these women, but there are such real stories that happen with these women, and the stories write themselves. And in Potomac, I feel like they manufacture scandals, they manufacture stories because that's what they're so used to, and they think that that's what's going to make their season. But unfortunately, we can see what it has done to their franchise. So I don't know if I'm going to be tuning in next season to Potomac.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Mary, do you feel like that?
Mary's
I'm
done.
not watching.
Oh, okay.
I'm not watching. I stopped.
You said you weren't watching anyway. You just came back for the.
I'm not watching.
And I mean, and I'm with you because I stopped watching. Like, I stopped watching Married to Medicine a little bit because I couldn't handle a certain person, but I just couldn't handle. I mean, maybe we don't know what we want to see on TV, but we know what we don't want to see.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
You know, we know what we don't want to see. And maybe it may be a little this and a little that here and there, but nothing where you're just seethingly coming after someone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that, right?
Yeah.
And then here we talked the agenda on television. Right. Black women arguing, fighting, families broken, side chicks winning, and kids coming to exposing parents, the support of Carlos King boycott. Like, it's a lot of negativity going on out there on television.
Yeah. And
But let's talk about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Okay.
Anna Marie is the donkey of the day. Anna Marie Wiley, I feel like Anna Marie had, if you want to do all this stuff like they do on these other shows, Anna Marie had a storyline. She did. Her husband's situation at Columbia University. Sir, what's going on over there with you and that lady? Let's talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
But you and I think I will say this. When I heard her saying that she came in the middle of filming, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that is unfortunate.
Yes.
That she came in at a deficit. But when you talked about the esophagus at that one party, you never should have brought it up again. Your whole storyline was an esophagus. And the whole time, you trying to find your mother. You think you found your dad.
You know what I mean?
Your husband.
Mm-hmm.
Your husband.
Yeah.
What happened with him and that lady at Columbia University? Like, are we just not going to talk about any of this stuff? You got a whole life going on over here, girl.
There was so much that I learned about Emery in the interview that she had with Carlos King.
Yeah.
So much so that I started to, like, I was interested. I was like, I want to learn
For a
more.
hot second.
You know what I
were
mean? I
interested
want
for
to
a
learn
minute.
more about her, to hear that, I don't know if she was Nigerian, she was adopted, she was looking for her parents. And I really, truly, like, I actually want to follow up on that story. Like, do you find your birth father?
Mhm.
Like, I want to know. But what she gave us, unfortunately, I think that Anne-Marie, she just fell victim to not being able to strike a balance between listening to the producers and actually being real. You know what I mean? I think that there's like people like Jazelle and Ashley, they are producers' puppets.
Right.
They're not getting, the producers aren't getting rid of them, because literally if the producers say go and jump, they'll say how high.
Right.
So they don't even have to have personal story, because they'll do whatever the producers tell them to do. With people like Anne-Marie, you are new to the game, beloved. You are new to the game.
Spanking new.
You know, so you can't be unlikable. You can't be like people like Monica on Salt Lake City. She should have gotten another season, you know, despite what was all that was going on. But she also came in and she was likable because she could relate to the audience.
Yeah.
Right? Anne-Marie did not make herself relatable to the audience. Her story about her adoption and trying to find her birth parents, that is relatable.
Yeah.
That's something I would have loved to see. I can't relate to it, but I would have loved to see that story pan out. But instead, she came on trying to focus on being an esophagus and
a doctor.
anesthetist versus anesthesia.
Did she say she was a doctor? Did she say she was a nurse? Did she say she put people to sleep? Like, I don't even know what she said versus what she actually is doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the whole medical team world after you because they feel like you lying about your, like, it was crazy.
Wow.
Now you're on Twitter and you don't even know how to work Twitter. I just need her. I can't.
It's unfortunate. And then her coming for Garcelle, I'm like, what did she
say? What did she say about Garcelle? She said Garcelle was like, what, wanted to be the only Black woman on the show or something like that?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And I guess there was a conversation that they were having about, there was a discussion regarding whether trans people should be included in the gendered Olympics or so she had a specific like polarizing opinion. Other women had a polarizing opinion. Garcelle apparently allegedly agreed with her, but refuses to share her opinion publicly because of public perception.
Right.
So accusing her of really basically lying for public, viewers' choice.
Is that something to really like go on Garcelle about? And like,
especially since you're not coming back.
She should have come in and she should have sat down at that table when they had the cannabis dinner and ate her cannabis.
That's right.
And just checked out the room.
That's it.
I see this person is here. She pisses her off. Why is Sutton acting like this? She's somebody I need to chill out with. Mm-hmm. Okay, Garcelle, what's up, girl? What you got going on down there? Mm-hmm. And let me just see how I fit in. Mm-hmm. Oh, y'all, this is an email I got. I can find in my father. Mm-hmm. Boom,
What had also really upset me about Anne-Marie is that she put the responsibility of Dorit acting like a complete racist fool on Garcelle. And you know what I'm saying? Yes, Sutton also has her problematic ways, but why is that Garcelle's responsibility and not yours, or Sutton's, to actually come to an understanding of what she is doing? She puts that responsibility on Garcelle, and that's what's just like, girl, you didn't say anything but an esophagus this whole season. Now you're coming here and you're talking about, well, why didn't you have my back when Sutton said something to me? Girl, go sit down.
But why did she say Crystal's husband was the Lying king?
I know. I was like, where'd that come from? Like, what did he do to you?
That's a great play. That's a double entendre. I like it's a good play on words, but that's the best thing you've done on TV all season. But
that's right.
What are you talking about?
She's tired.
Because baby, if anybody is set up, honey, Crystal is set up.
Set up.
Let's not get it twisted. Crystal is the Lion Queen. Do not play. Okay, so
I wish she had come here to just continue to dismantle what is left of the Fox Force, whatever. That's what we wanted from Anne-Marie. Like,
I mean, are they still together, the Fox Force, anyway? Like, you know,
in some ways, yes. Though they are fighting, they still find a way to kind of have each other's backs when it comes to, you know what I mean? They will. It seems like that's the thing that pisses me off about the Housewives. They will alter their own personal opinion just to match whatever it is the group that their alliance's opinion, and that's so frustrating to watch.
So, Kyle. Do we feel like Kyle is coming back? Because I feel like Kyle is not coming back.
Yeah, they said she's coming back.
She's coming back.
They said she's coming back.
I think she's coming back. Unfortunately.
All right. So we did Beverly Hills. Candace is gone. Anne-Marie is gone. Crystal is gone. Housewives of Atlanta. We're gonna wrap it up right here. Okay. So, Mayor's favorite person is Kenya Moore. Kenya is a force multiplier. You have to have Kenya.
She's a necessity.
She's not a force multiplier.
She's a necessity.
She's a necessity when Portia's around.
She stirs the pot. Kenya is beautiful. She's a beautiful liar.
Yeah.
How about that?
Melly Chan.
Can we agree?
Kenya, she's beautiful. She's a beautiful
she's a beautiful non-truth teller.
Sorry, y'all. I do not like Kenya.
I like her. But I feel like, okay, Mayor, let me ask you this. What was the difference between her standing in front of her studio hair care place versus the official acknowledgement of her being on the show? Because when she was standing in front of her studio, I thought that was her saying, I'm back.
Right.
But then it comes out, Kenya Moore officially is on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Like, what did she was it a contract, you think? Maybe it wasn't enough zeros. Maybe she needs to get her bowls in to wash hair before she could sign. What was it?
Oh God, I don't know. Like, when she was standing in front of her salon, I didn't even think it was about like her coming back from Real Housewives of Atlanta. I just thought that she was promoting her salon.
Because Love B. Scott broke that, and then next thing you know, she was in there, and then like last week, it says she's officially back. So I was really confused by all that.
Now that has me confused too.
But I'm gonna tell you what's unfortunate. I feel like Portia's situation is unfortunate because we really thought we was about to get some soft living, soft life, soft every era for Portia. But Portia has a storyline.
And apparently she doesn't want to film with certain people.
And apparently she doesn't want to film in Atlanta because allegedly she and Shamia are in LA filming. Yeah. So that, I don't think that's going to do well for the show in particular. I think like Diana said that Portia is going to help Atlanta's ratings and help it go from where it is to like higher. I personally do not think it's going to help it that much at all. And especially if she's putting in stipulations as to who she wants to film with, who she doesn't want to film with, where she wants to film, what she wants to talk about and things like that, it's not going to help. Yeah, Portia. Now, Portia, if you're doing all that, that's a bit much.
Yeah,
that is like, a lot.
You just left the Housewives, and you just been living this lifestyle that you have on Instagram. You are not able not to come back and get right back into position.
And especially if they gave her such a big contract. I mean, the contract she signed and the money that she's getting from this season, smart contract that she signed. I think because she's able to do
more outside of the house.
Yes. No, she's got to give the people what she's got to give the people. Like she can't hide it. She can't conceal anything. Like that's not fair, and that's not fair to us, and that's not fair to the franchise.
And don't even go in there and start with that. Don't even
exactly. Diana.
Yeah. But so we have Portia and we have Kenya, and do we know for sure if we have Drew?
No, we don't know. We're still waiting. We are still waiting. And I think the rumor is that they're trying to build the show around Kenya and Portia right? Finding other girls to kind of build a show around them, because
That'd be
as
smart.
Diana has said in the past, and I agree with her, Kenya and Portia, that nemesis,
They
you
work.
know, they work.
Yeah.
It works.
They saved
Yeah.
season 5.
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
Sure
They
did.
definitely saved season 5.
They sure did. And I think that that's the reason, that's the only reason why I think that Portia is going to do the ratings very well without the stipulations, whatever. I've not heard about these stipulations that she's putting, but I think that that's the reason why I believe that the ratings are going to go up with Portia being on the scene, because when Portia left, the ratings dropped and Kenya was still there. You know, the ratings continued to drop and Kenya was still there.
Yeah.
The people that were around Kenya truly actually only works when she has a worthy opponent to go up against. And because Portia has been her main and original opponent, those two work. Now, I am interested to see, because these two are friends. And I saw a comment sometime, I think it was last week, where Portia said, when
twirl on
that. Yeah, when Kenya made her announcement to come back, Portia made a comment somewhere saying twirl on that, and then Kenya was like, "Let's go, girl."
Okay. Well, if she's done that, what they cannot do is come here and Kenya put her down about what's going on with Simon. Like, girl, why are you not filming in your house? So this thing right here, Simon wants to be paid for filming in his house.
Oh, really? That would make sense.
Simon put out a tweet like, "Why is Portia back in my house? She can go to her own house." You know,
why is Simon even on the internet? Like,
I don't know.
Oh my God,
Portia created a monster. I'll tell you. Like, I don't know.
How do we feel about Drew coming back? Whether do we want her on next season or not?
I like Drew. I do.
Lily is my RHOA bestie. Because
let me say this.
I'm not the only one that can't with Drew.
I would give you this about Drew. I would accept Drew back if Drew is going to give us her story.
I agree.
Because Drew has a story.
I agree.
When I saw Wreck-It Ralph on something, somebody sent me doing shirtless protein drink ads. No, ma'am. What? Yes. But he's doing like he didn't have a shirt on, and he was doing like this is the protein drinks. I'm just finished working out and blah blah blah. If you give me an ad where he's trying to Martell hold himself back in this situation, I'm in. But you're gonna have to give me the breakdown after it went off, because they brought the cameras back. We need to know where you are. If you all are really going to counseling, because I know it's going to be a lot, because he takes counseling not serious, but if he takes it serious in this season, it's just because he wants to get back in.
That's true.
And I need all that realness.
Yeah,
I don't think we get real from Drew.
No, we don't.
And that's the thing, is like Drew plays to the audience's like perception and what she thinks that the audience wants. And honestly, to no fault of her own, Drew, her career has been in acting. Her career has been in scripted in television. Yeah. So I can understand that if her being in front of a camera, she is used to being scripted. Right. Unscripted television is not her forte. So being in front of a camera and being unscripted, I don't think that she gives in that way. She doesn't show her true self, which I can understand to some extent, right? Camera awareness, even us just doing a podcast, it makes me really nervous. You know what I mean? And sometimes I forget like my words and forget what I'm trying to say and forget my point and forget what we're talking. You know, I can understand the nerves that come with camera shyness and being camera aware. But with Drew, it's just after so many seasons, I just still don't feel like we have gotten the real Drew.
But that is why she has to come back this season. It's gonna almost be like a Robin effect.
What's the Robin effect? We never got anything from Robin.
No. Oh, but what I'm saying is, it's like the Robin effect in terms of this is her performance improvement plan. Like, this is her pip, right? Like, if you come back this season with everything Lily Chen said, I agree. She has to give all of that. Yeah. You can't leave me at the end of that last reunion with her singing that beautiful song to that man in that
Drew
way.
made herself look so stupid.
And you can't leave me with that. Like, I gotta know what happened.
What happens
like,
next? I hear that.
Afterwards. Like, I gotta know.
I hear that.
So, yeah.
But like American Born said, Drew may be better single. I think that would be great TV.
It would.
I think it would be great to see her date. I would think it would be great to see her in therapy.
Yeah.
It would be great to see her just getting her own place and getting adjusted, dropping the kids off. You know, she has so much story. Right. And I mean, and I will say social media has definitely changed the way we watch television. Because 15 years ago, 16, when the Cosby Show was on TV, all we knew is it went off on Thursday nights and we weren't going to see them again to Thursday. We didn't know what Bill Cosby was doing. We didn't know what Rashard was doing.
Right.
We log off and we might walk in the club and Nene is in the club.
Right.
And
a lot of the season happens now on social media.
Yeah, so we're really in your life now. So we really want to know what's really going on. So,
and we only get that from Drew in season. She only does these social media wars in season. She only, and it just makes me feel as though that this is something that's just happening intentionally because she is on a TV show trying to promote her television show. I don't feel like we're getting real because since Atlanta Housewives has ended, we haven't heard any of these random PSAs from Drew that she drops on Twitter or on Instagram.
Yeah, the only thing we saw Drew when Melody Cherie Rogers awarded her at her benefit. And then we saw Drew at the dentist office with the dentist.
With the dentist.
Yeah, and that's the last time we've seen Drew.
Yeah. Do you guys, is she going? Okay. I have, since I haven't heard a lot from her, is she getting the divorce? Is the divorce happening?
We haven't heard anything.
We don't know.
It's giving Ashley Darby.
It's giving that. Oh,
sorry.
Let me say this. If this makes it to you, Ashley, girl, the fact that Ashley has to endure Michael Darby to have a roof over her head is enough for me to just get an application at the Dollar Tree. I literally could not ever. I mean, she has to bounce house on Michael Darby. She can't even date like she wants to date. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm back over here at what you call. She can't even date like she wants to date. Michael is outdoor. Michael has been doing his thing for a very long time. And we don't know if it was doing his thing with one particular set of people or everybody.
Baby, they've been doing their thing with they've had an open relationship. Like with everybody. Remember? Yeah, with everybody. With everybody. If there's a girl that she liked, they brought her into the bedroom. If there's that's a story we didn't know about them. And we were thinking this man is a creep sleeping with people here left and right, which he is. He's a creep.
But Michael Darby.
But yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something. I mean, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I know money rules the world. I get it. But before I told my audience on TikTok, I said, y'all have to cash out me $1.25 before I bounce house on somebody like Michael Darby. I'm sorry. I'm going to be living under a bridge, me and my baby, because there's no way.
Oh,
yeah.
So nasty.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. And I mean, it's, oh my goodness, I don't know how to say this. I don't like Ashley. I can't stand her on the show. She's just not good for the show. She has no shame. She is willing to show everything but her coochie, probably, if that, on this show. And I can't. But I also I want to bring into perspective Ashley and her mother. She grew up homeless pretty much.
Yeah.
Right. So I think what we see from Ashley, this desperation that we see from her to stay on the show, that's why she's willing to do anything and everything to make a dollar. And this desperation that she's seen to not let go of Michael because of that financial security. I can understand that she does not want to put her children in the same situation that she grew up in.
Right.
Where she has to pick her luggage off the street.
When she said about seeing her mother in that tent in the car, that's the only time I had anything for Ashley.
Yeah.
That was it. And I was like, I know that's devastating.
Yeah.
Because if you are holding on to that, that's a memory and that's a foundation in which you live life, then I can see why you could bounce out, Michael. I get it.
But it's unfortunate because she's just not an authentic person
at all.
In any way. And
at all. She's not authentic at all. But like Ashley, and I don't think Ashley remembers. Maybe she's deleted it, but I know we saw it. Ashley made a celebratory divorce TikTok.
I don't
because
I don't watch her TikToks. I think we have probably blocked her on our page. I'm not even. It's too much.
Celebratory TikTok about getting a divorce. Hey y'all, getting a divorce, signing papers. And when Michael went in at the 15th hour and had that private revision of the prenup, she's had a whole different story from then. Because Ashley really thought she was about to come up. She had that second baby and she was like, it is what it is.
It is, right.
There was a certain point where I thought Ashley was smart. You know, like gold diggers are smart. You know, like they pick the right man. They know what they're doing. There was a point where I was like, oh, maybe she's doing it right. She's like, if I have these kids, I'm going to be set for this number of years or whatever. But trust and believe, when she said that she was getting a divorce from Michael Darby on season 7, I didn't believe it. I did not believe it. That divorce was not going to happen. We were looking up divorce records, right? After that season ended, we were looking it up because we're like trying to find it. And we're like, I
said, mark my words. By the time that she says she's getting a divorce, she's not getting a divorce.
She's not getting a divorce.
She's using this to be her storyline. You know what I mean? As Andy says, I feel like the same way I always ask Robin, when will you get married? I'm going to ask you, when will you get divorced? That's if there's a constant question mark on a housewife, it almost secures you the next season.
Absolutely.
You know, especially if you have no shame like Ashley.
Well, one thing for sure, I believe Mia wholeheartedly that she will have a divorce before Ashley. 100% she will. But hold on one second. I think is somebody here? It's a private chat. Hold on. Oh, okay. Somebody said something else. Okay. We're going to end here. And ladies, this was
fun.
We got to do this again.
Oh my gosh.
We got to do this again.
I have been a fan of you all for so long, and I just absolutely love this conversation. Absolutely. And we will definitely do it again. We will do it again.
Yes.
And I just thank you all for doing this. Thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting us. We are so honored, honestly.
Well, thank you. Thank you. To sit back for 1 minute and let me say goodbye to everybody. I want to thank everybody for being here. Thank you all. They said Love and Marriage DC Part 2 reunion. Oh my God.
I just finished watching part 1 today. I was like, "Ooh, Lord!"
I need to binge watch that show.
It's a lot. But I want to thank everybody for being here, and we'll be back. And I just really want to thank you all again for being here. Thank you all so much. Y'all have a good day.
Y'all.
Bye.